Hey all, it's Jess from Sunflower Dairy, and I'm out in the greenhouse, and I have a bundle of bare root strawberries here. So if you don't know what bare root is, I'll go ahead and show you one real quick. So bare root is pretty much a plant that has been left in like hibernation mode, like it's sleeping, like when a plant goes to sleep in the wintertime. Pretty much they will, you know, people will have these, and the roots will be all cleaned up, and these will be in hibernation. So these will be, sleeping because they think it's winter time. So these are pretty much a plant that is sleeping. So a lot of people, when they have the bare root strawberries, they'll keep them in like a cool place, like a cooler or fridge or something, that it's gonna make these think that it's still wintertime and it's still time to be dormant. So pretty much with your bare root strawberry, you have your bare roots here, and then see right here, this is starting to wake up. So we're starting to get a leaf here. I'll show you, I have another one here that is starting to wake up a little bit more. See the greenage on that. So with these bare root strawberries, so you can either put your bare root strawberries directly into the ground, or what I'm doing today is I'm getting these a little bit of a head start because it's still kind of cold here. So I probably won't be able to plant these directly in the ground for a couple more weeks. So what I'm doing is giving these a little bit of a head start. I'm going to go ahead and put them in some potting soil, let them green up a little bit, and then when the soil is warm enough outdoors that I can plant these directly in the ground, then these will all be awake and green and ready to grow, and it'll just kind of give them a little bit of a jump start, which should help this produce fruit quicker. So pretty much I just have some potting soil in here. I'm going to spread these roots apart and then just make a little spot here in the potting soil. I'm going to put those roots in, spread them out, and then I'm going to put them down into the pot. Now with your strawberry plant, you don't want to cover this brown area right here, because that's where the plant comes out. So you don't want to cover this because you don't want this to start rotting. So you want it literally just barely above the actual root system. So you can see the actual root system right here. So you literally want the soil just barely above that root system, because you don't want this brown area of the plant here where the plant comes out of, you don't want that covered because you don't want that rotting. So we're going to leave that part above the soil, and then we're going to go ahead and bury these roots in here. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a little bit of water before I put the rest of the potting soil on top of this. I'll give this one more good drink. Alright, and that is pretty much how we get our strawberry plant started. So see, we still have this browned area sticking out of the soil, so that's not rotting. And so we'll make sure we keep these watered, and I'm probably going to be keeping these directly in the greenhouse until it warms up a little bit outside. But these strawberries are a perennial in my growing zone, so they're used to the cold. They should be fine. But I'm just going to keep them in the greenhouse so they can start greening up, and then, you know, they'll have a head start when I go ahead and plant them into the ground outside. So I'll go ahead and do a couple more for you. And I just want to talk about the bare root strawberries real quick. So with the bare root strawberries, you can actually get way more plants if you buy strawberry plants like this, unlike if you bought just, you know, one strawberry plant potted up at like the nursery greenhouse, you know, where you usually would get your plants. You know, this, usually getting one plant can be kind of pricey. You know, this could go anywhere from $2, $3, $4 depending on where you are and how much they sell plants for. But by getting the bare root strawberries, you usually get a whole bundle like I have here. You usually get a whole bundle for not very much at all. You usually get each bare root strawberry plant for, you know, usually it's under $1, depending on where it is and depending on the variety. So this is the variety that these are, but you know, usually, I mean, if you can get a plant for under $1, that's pretty good. So, but you know, you can get a good bundle and quite a few strawberry plants for, you know, a really good deal if you get bare root strawberries. So that's something to think about, instead of, even though this, you know, when you see it like somewhere where you can buy plants, this is kind of like appealing because you're like, oh, it's in a pot, it's green, I can just plant it in the ground. But if you want a lot of strawberry plants, which you pretty much need a lot of strawberry plants if you want to be, you know, making a lot of things with them, if you want to be, you know, doing jam or freezing them or, you know, any of that, you want quite a few strawberry plants. So, you know, and the price you'd pay for this, you could probably get a ton of these for the price of this, because there's, you know, just in this bundle, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12. There's at least 15 plants in this bundle, and I didn't pay very much for these at all. So that is really something to think about. If you want a lot of plants for a good price, getting these bare root strawberries is kind of something that you really want to think about. But I'm going to go ahead and do a couple more of these. So again, just making a spot in the soil, spreading these roots out. Also, with strawberries, there's different kinds of strawberry plants. Yes, there's different varieties, but also you can have like actual different kinds. Like there's strawberry plants called June bearing, and there's strawberry plants called everbearing. June bearing usually only produces fruit in June, and then everbearing will keep continuously bearing fruit throughout the growing season. So that's something to think about. And the difference between those is, if you want fruit just at one time, a big harvest, then you'll probably want June bearing because they're likely to all produce fruit around the same time. But if you want fruit constantly, like for fresh eating, you know, a few here and there that you want to just, you know, have when you're out walking your garden, or you know, you want a couple fresh every day, then you'll want those everbearing because those will produce a few berries throughout the season. So it all depends on what you want from your strawberry plant and how you want them to produce for you. If you want your fruit all at once, or if you want it kind of spread out, but you want to be able to be getting it here and there every once in a while. So that's kind of something to think about with the strawberry plants. Now with strawberry plants, now some people don't think of this, but they're called strawberry plants. So straw and strawberry. So a lot of times you'll see at places that grow strawberries that, you know, they will actually have straw around their strawberries. And they do that because it helps prevent slugs from not going up onto the plants and eating the berries. And also, one of the main reasons why they put straw around the strawberries is so that when it rains or they're being watered, that it's not causing the water to go down on the soil and then splash up onto the berries. So, you know, there's a variety of different reasons why people use straw on strawberries, but that's kind of why they got their name, because you literally use straw around strawberries to help keep, you know, the slugs and bugs off of them, to help keep the water from not splashing up and getting on the berries, because one, it will make the berries dirty, and two, constant water being splashed on the berries is going to cause the berries to actually rot. So that's kind of something to think about, but that's why strawberries are called strawberries. Alright, y'all, I hope you've learned something today. Thank you for watching. Have a blessed day.